His grin stretched too far, too perfect, too polished. The same rehearsed expression he wore at corporate banquets and memorials. "Ready to show Shelby the ropes?" he asked, like we were comrades, like I hadn't sacrificed 15 years turning his dreams into a reality while he spent his days golfing and delivering speeches on resilience. I kept my gaze fixed on the table surface. The mahogany was dull, the finish faded. I didn't buy it with cash. I bought it with sleepless nights, fractured bones, and my youth. His smile returned, a little tighter now. "Son, I get that this is an adjustment, but it's still a family matter. You'll manage operations, paperwork, payroll, oversight. You'll still be involved." I gave a slow nod, not in agreement with his words, but in response to betrayal that soaked through them. He assumed I was clueless. He believed I hadn't pieced it together. The mysterious flight logs, the cold silences, the subtle glances Shelby cast his way when she thought no one was watching. And then, just last night, he stood at the company dinner, brandy in hand, voice booming for all to hear. "My son's taking over now. Not son-in-law, not the man who rescued this business from the rubble, just his son." The following morning, I arrived earlier than ever, but he was already in his office, seated like royalty awaiting tribute. "Time to start Shelby's training?" he repeated. I returned his grin. "Cool, steady." "No," I said, voice low and even. "I came to reclaim what you stole." His smirk faltered. It had started subtly, a missed anniversary dinner. Shelby said she was assisting him with a bid. Then a late-night phone call. His number, her voice in a hush. "Not now he's home." I came into the bedroom. She was asleep or pretending. I sat on the edge of the bed for hours, listening to her steady breaths, wondering how long she'd been beside me physically but tethered to someone else emotionally. But it wasn't only her disloyalty that cut deep. It was his. He'd treated me like a son, handed me the keys to the kingdom, except the part that shared his last name. And that mattered. Bloodlines deceive. They had been preparing Shelby behind closed doors. Secret site visits. Deals she closed that I negotiated. He told the board she was the future. When I gently questioned him, testing the waters, he gave me a hearty slap on the back. "She's your wife. Her wins are your wins," he chuckled. I'd smiled and said nothing, but something inside me withered, slow and silent. I began with her old phone. She'd backed it up to iCloud and thought I didn't know her password. She was wrong. The texts were cautious, not overtly romantic, but unmistakably conspiratorial. "Tim, I kept you late. He believes every word you say. Just wait, it'll all be ours." They weren't speaking of love. They were plotting a takeover. I dug deeper. Corporate expenses, hidden accounts. A $50,000 transfer labeled as a consulting fee to her personal LLC. Shelby didn't consult anyone. I documented it all. Carefully, quietly, patiently. Then I observed. I watched them at dinners and meetings, even at home. She stopped wearing her wedding band. He began using my nicknames for her. Kiddo, champ, partner. Except now I wasn't the partner anymore. Just the machinery behind the curtain. I said nothing. Just listened. Because when someone reveals who they truly are, you don't expose them. You prepare. My attorney handed over the last envelope. Inside, forged signatures, email trails from his assistant, proof of embezzlement and fraud. I already had Shelby sign consulting contract. In his handwriting. They were reckless. They thought I was too soft to fight back. I didn't argue, didn't accuse. I printed 3 folders. The first I handed to Shelby at dinner. I said nothing, just laid the documents in front of her. She opened it, scanned, and froze. Her face turned pale, hands shaking. "Where did you—" "I always knew," I said. I stood up and left her sitting there, drowning in the wreckage of her own ambition. The second copy went out in the mail, anonymously, addressed to the board directors. The third I kept for this morning. When I told him I came to reclaim what was stolen, he didn't comprehend right away. "What are you talking about, son?" he asked, brows furrowed. I placed the folder on the desk I paid for. He opened it, read one page, then another. His chest sank. This is confidential. I remained silent. You've been digging behind my back, he barked. I leaned in, voice calm. I watched you take my company, my wife, my future. I locked eyes with him. I'm not stealing. I'm taking back what was already mine. You can't. I already did. The board had the evidence. Shelby confessed last night. Any ownership transfer? Filed at 6:03 a.m. today. My name was now on every document. Hers wasn't. Neither was his. I didn't take a keepsake. Didn't box my things. I just walked the halls like a man reclaiming the space of his own memories. 15 years, never wasted. Just redirected. He stood near the elevator, mouth agape, eyes pleading. I didn't break stride. Didn't turn my head. Some people beg when the throne is taken. Others vanish in defeat. I chose silence. She messaged me last night. One word. Why? I never replied. Some questions are too hollow for answers. Some betrayals too deliberate for mercy. And some men like me, don't offer second chances. Final line. You don't bury a man like me and expect to walk away clean.